thorough, precise thinking either. The citizens of Spokane are paying through the nose for every little thing that the city council or that the city department heads can possibly come up with. And what do we get? Lip service.
Mr. McGrath, it might be interesting to know that evidence from, murders, rapes, assaults, Fred Coe's bodily fluids are still stored there, but if you think it's not worth it to keep it there, well, maybe that's your opinion. Mr. Moody? You have 3 minutes, Mr. Moody.
Good evening, members of the council. Ian Moody with Citizens for a Sensible Spokane. I just wanted to apologize for our lack of preparedness and the emotion at the hearing regarding our ordinances. I was under the impression that it would be a very formal hearing and we wouldn't be discussing the merits or lack thereof of our ordinances. So tonight I just wanted to follow up and actually clarify what it is I expect of the council or of the city of Spokane. These ordinances are just a foundation. What I'd like is the city of Spokane to create a permanent or temporary committee whose focus is the research and development of local policy reform regarding the production and processing of medical cannabis. I'd also like the city to pass an ordinance clarifying local policy and establish rules and regulations for the production and processing of medical cannabis within city limits. So I've provided you just with our proposal there. And then along with that, I've provided you guys with a publication that I believe is current, it's relevant, it's unbiased regarding this topic. It's from the Municipal Research and Services Center of Washington. And this was published in August, I believe, of this year. And they give a rundown of the changes in state law and different options that municipalities and counties might have as far as addressing local cannabis, medical cannabis access points or collective gardens. And so that's a reference for you guys. I've also provided you with some the RCWs and SMCs that relate to medical cannabis. And I just wanted to use that as a starting point as far as local effort to address medical cannabis policy. As far as things that are happening in the news and just like everybody else has brought up, obviously they're no longer investigating property crimes. And on top of that, many of you might be aware that there was a recent bust just a few days ago, a cancer patient who is also a medical marijuana, patient, had their medical marijuana grow up, busted, and his plant seized. And I just think that it's becoming a witch hunt, and with this gray area, we need to establish some guidelines, and that's what this ordinance that I've proposed to you, the medical cannabis ordinance, it gives us a foundation for beginning to. I also watched you guys breezed through an ordinance allowing for alcohol advertising to basically take place without discretion. And so I think that medical cannabis is something that should be addressed. I'd like you guys to consider taking a look at this book. Marijuana is safer, so why are we driving people to drink? In relation to the alcohol advertising is just passed.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I stand corrected. Last week I spoke as if California was rather liberal on the feds enforcing federal drug laws. No longer. Last week they announced a statewide strict enforcement of federal marijuana laws. So again, I've said this over and over and over again, your cause is with the feds, because until the feds come down and allow this, there's no way that we should engage ourselves in passing ordinances. They're going to get contradicted by federal law. And I have studied this. I studied it last year. And the state law is so muddled up, I defy anybody to define what's legal and what's not. That's my comment. Okay, for last but not least, sir, your name? Your name?
My name is Gavin
Okay. How do you spell last name?
Last name is Dahl, D-A-H-L.
Okay, and your topic is?
I'd like to comment on what's Comcast.
No? Well, yes, it is. It's not legislation. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to comment on your reactions earlier to Kenneth Watts Comcast. He neglected to mention context led to the creation of the Internet Essentials program, and I just wanted to make sure the council was aware of that. Comcast takeover of NBC Universal was approved in January. The deal was reportedly worth almost $14 billion. Their CEO made over $30 million last year, and Comcast makes billions in profit annually. I just think you should be asking yourself where that money goes. This company is not operating in a free market. It's in as many cities as they can, they pursue duopoly. And Consumer Reports wrote in January that the NBC Comcast deal was approved, and the combo of NBC and Comcast quote, poses some very real threats. That was Consumer Reports. Before you treat Mr. Comcast like heroes for bridging the digital divide, I just please ask you, with all due respect, remember that these conditions that were forced to do as part of their merger, and these conditions expire in 3 years. So please, I really have been enjoying the city council since I moved to town. I'd ask you to please take a few moments to double check your alternatives before you pray. Thanks.
Thank you for your poetic words. We are adjourned.